touched Narud's mind in there. I sensed his devotion to this Amon. Narud's been trying to resurrect his master for millennia.
It makes sense. The endless conflict between Protoss and Zerg, the hybrid, all part of a plan to bring Amon back.
Unless we stop him.
I wonder how Narud could hope to resurrect a being as powerful as Amon.
I think the hybrid are key. They gather psionic energy. But where would they get enough to resurrect a dead god?
You told me an ancient Zelnaga artifact was used to make you human again. But all the power you wielded as the Queen of Blades, where did it go after your transformation?
You mean there might have been hybrid nearby who gathered it? And used it to... Oh no.
If Narud used the Zelnaga artifact in that way, he may already have enough energy to resurrect Amon.
We are sensing strange entities in the lab.
You mean besides the hybrid and the evil shapeshifter?
Protoss, my queen, in great numbers.
Yes, I sense them now. Tal'Darim. They serve Amon willingly. They worship him.
They worship a dead god.
That makes them even more dangerous.
The hybrid, their essence is strong, but I cannot collect it.
Narud created them. Do you think he will bring you more essence if you follow him?
That one serves a master who will devour all essence.
You're talking about Amon. I think he's dead. And I'm going to make sure he stays that way.
If that one lives, all essence will be collected. Change will stop. I will fight.
This thing in the lab, this Narud, it's shielding itself from me, but I can still sense its power.
Tell me of it.
It's like nothing I've faced before.
But you destroyed the Ancient One. You captured the power of all Zeras.
This is something born of the void. Cold and empty. But so powerful it hurts.
Alright, welcome back. StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. This is episode 17, Phantoms of the Void. And this will be the final mission in the Skyger Station set of missions. First off, just checking up, make sure we have the appropriate abilities for Kerrigan. And down here, we're going to do an evolution mission.
Mutalisk strain ready for augmentation. Located feral broodlords. Must reacquire essence. Can be spun into Mutalisk strain. Dominion defense platform. Sigma Centauri. Feral broodlords nearby. Missile turrets designed to kill Mutalisks. Stalemate without broodlords.
Find the Broodlords. We'll assimilate their essence and destroy the Dominion.
Kill broodlords. Recover essence.
Assimilate their essence.
Mutalisks can morph into broodlord. await your command. Broodlord launches Broodling. Assault ground targets from distance. Supplying Mutalisks will protect Broodlords. Complementary skills.
Now let's end this stalemate.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, so you probably remember these guys from Wings of Liberty. They kind of harassed us quite a bit, and you get the idea. They don't really launch a projectile that does damage, but rather it's an actual little Zergling itself, a broodling, and it, runs around and kills stuff wherever it lands. And you see that their big weakness is that they can't do air-to-air anymore, like a regular Mutalisk. So they're pretty vulnerable.
We're being overrun! Drop in reinforcements!
Destroyed. Platform secured. Brocus Her. Dominion storage world. Transport wreckage discovered. Jorium crystal contained within. Jorium useful for experimentation. Enhances psionic potential. Must acquire. Completed research on primal essences. New strain created. Viper, ready to assault Dominion. Viper, strategic asset. Abducts targets. Pulls to its location. Usable on ally or foe.
Move across the river and pull our aberrations to the other side.
Siege tanks detected. Use Vipers. Pull into range of aberrations.
So you get the idea here, as Abathur said, a very strategic asset, because this takes a lot of strategy and micromanaging. You know, the kind of thing that you would really just make a couple of in a mission for a very specific purpose, but not like all the time. And in contrast to Broodlord, now you have an air-to-ground flyer, and that could be very useful a lot of the time.
Viper emits disabling cloud. Foes within cannot attack.
Rip that bunker apart. Only their final defenses remain. Move in for the kill.
And of course, the other problem with either of these strains, whichever you choose, is it's just like the Hydralisk. You have to upgrade, in the case of the Mutalisk, you'd have to upgrade the Spire within a mission. And then that costs time and resources. And then you'd have to make Mutalisks. And then you'd have to take the Mutalisks you made and morph them into either the Broodlord or the Viper, whichever one you choose, and that takes more time and resources. So it's a very kind of clunky way to go about it, and it's not nearly as immediately useful and versatile as, say, the passive evolution lines of the Zergling or the Roach.
Jorium cargo secured. Must prepare Mutalisk morph. Returning to evolution pit.
So we're gonna go with the Broodlord.
Mutalisk morph ready for integration. Await decision.
And this is generally the best choice
Evolution complete.
because it allows the already limited Zerg Air Force to contain both air-to-air and air-to-ground units.
Narud is an ancient creature of vast power. He waits for you in the bowels of this place. One of you will die. Make sure it's that son of a bitch.
The Zerg have breached the sanctum.
Protoss.
Narud has held these towns that even in reserve. They are his best troops. The final battle is near. A shame. This Ultralisk might have been useful.
Organism Stukov misunderstands. Death irrelevant. Only essence important. Ultralisk reconstituted. Ultimate expression of swarm evolution.
We need to secure location for our hive cluster. Then, we deal with Narud. Yes. We are without limit. Clear away these fanatics.
Attack, my brothers! Eliminate the abominations!
Minsk will suffer. We adapt.
Our victory is assured. Reason. Yes, I see.
Retribution will Your queen listens. The swarm conquers all. Boldly.
Okay, you'll notice I'm going to speed up the video here, and what I'm doing is waiting a few minutes for Kerrigan's ability drop pods to come off a cooldown.
I am the swarm.
What's going to happen is the mission will progress, and we're going to lose control of Kerrigan. She's going to be tied up doing something. So before that happens, I wanted to just get drop pods and spawn banelings out of the way so we get some free units to start the mission with. It's a little cheesy, but I mean, whatever. Now, since we have a minute here, I did want to mention real quick Alexei Stukov, because we haven't really talked about him since he showed up. And I don't know if you remember him. I vaguely remember him. He was in the second game, Brood Wars, and he and Kerrigan were enemies in that, but obviously he has come
The
back
swarm conquers
as a
all.
Zerg and now is helping
Make your
Kerrigan.
peace. Why would Narud build this lab on top of a Zelnaga temple?
You know nothing of the Zelnaga.
Narud is driving a null zone towards you. It will kill you on contact. These temples are amplifying his power.
Stukov, go to the temples and destroy them.
I thought you'd never ask. Keep your mind clear.
Okay, so here we go. You see we have our army of drop pods and banelings that Kerrigan summoned before she got tied up.
The first temple is located here. Now, let's go destroy it.
Be quick about it. The null zone is pushing toward me.
And because all these free units are on a timer, we're just gonna take out as much as possible with them before they either run out or die. So again, it's a little bit of a cheesy way to start the mission, but it really helps a lot.
Taste the blades of the Tal'Darim!
Alright, nice dying shot there off that last Hydralisk. Took one out with him. So yeah, because Kerrigan gets tied up, I feel like you don't really get to use her abilities. Now you get passive abilities like automated extractors, etc., but you know, as for her active ones, they're kind of a waste on this mission because she's tied up fighting Narud. And might as well get some use out of them if we can, right? So that's why I feel okay with doing it that way. Otherwise, it's kind of basic. You see the slider bar at the top, and as usual, we'll wait till the very last second before we, tend to it. But as you destroy these various temples throughout the map, the slider gets more and more to the right and less threatening to Kerrigan. So base building and strategy-wise, you notice I've got a whole slew of buildings queued up. First of all, we took the natural expansion to the right, got a second hatchery, a whole bunch of automated extractors on our Vespine geysers, but then I got 2 spires, 2 evolution chambers, I got a hydralisk den, a roach warren, and then of course the mission starts us out with an ultralisk den so that we can make ultralisks. They're the new unit for this mission, and they're pretty badass, and you're gonna see them. They look kind of like mastodons a bit. They're real big. So we're gonna have quite a mix of different minions here.
Tal'Darim, destroy their hive! She cannot survive alone!
I sound the sick. I hear you.
And the other obvious feature of this mission is we get to play with Stukov as a hero unit, and he's pretty cool. He's got a healing aura similar to like the Swarm Queens, so anything around him will gradually get healed. He can summon like 5 or 6 just infested dudes. They're not very strong or anything, but they're great as a distraction. And he can also do this this one type of blast. I forget what it's called, but it does a lot of damage. It's a good just one-hit blast.
We require more minerals.
So he's going to be our hero for the mission while Kerrigan is tied up. And once we've deactivated all these temples, put a stop to this null zone energy wave kind of tug of war that Kerrigan and Narud are in, then we can confront Narud.
The null zone is closing in on our queen.
Stukov, destroy a temple. I can't hold much longer.
I am channeling psionic energy into this temple, but it will take time.
You dare defile the shrines of our god? We shall strike you down!
I must focus, but I can still use my powers for the fight. Remain alert. A hybrid approaches. Speak freely. Assault. I hear you. I can use corrosive blast to eat through the armor of this hybrid. First temple is deactivated.
Excellent work, Stukov. I can feel Narud's strength slipping.
Success, but only for a moment. We must disable the other temples.
More overlords.
Strike the hive while they are in disarray!
The end is at hand.
Stukov, I sense crystals, which Narud is using to store raw psionic energy.
Yes, their energy is faint, hidden near the temples. If time permits, we will find them and destroy them.
Okay, and that'll be our bonus objective for this mission, which will give 3 Kerrigan levels. And we actually already started it at the very beginning. Just got to find those Xel'Naga crystals and destroy them. And we've got 1 of 5 of the temples deactivated. And we're getting our upgrades almost all the way done here. And I think at this point in the game we have like 3 levels of upgrade for, you know, both attack and defense.
Keep your mind clear.
And you see our Ultralisks, but also our Hydralisks and Roaches. You know, it's a very kind of mixed yet balanced army, and other people do it differently, but I just found that this was the best way to balance resources and get the kind of results that we want.
I hear you. Done. A sound decision. The end is at hand. A sound decision. You need something? Our victory is assured.
None may challenge the Master.
Destroy the Protoss quickly. The hybrids approach. Keep your mind clear.
Spawn more overlords.
The second temple has fallen.
Squirm all you like. You will not escape your fate.
Okay, so 2 down, not too bad. And you'll notice at the top, the slider bar, Kerrigan has a little bit more breathing room. And as we deactivate each of the temples, that gets bigger and bigger. So here we're going with some static defense on our left flank. We need to keep that defended so we can press out to the right. We have to start moving deeper into the enemy in order to get at these temples. You see the markers on the mini-map where they are. And otherwise you see kind of the nice balance. Force did pretty well. The Ultralisks, of course, hit very hard. They're great up front. But it's nice having the Roaches in there for the debuff and whatnot. And then also Mutalisks, the flyers, they're in the mix. And they're kind of in there to serve a specific purpose later. They're going to help get at a very hard-to-reach Xel'Naga crystal, and so we can complete the bonus objective. But the other cool thing is I'm going to make a Broodlord Spire and actually make some Broodlords, and I think it's the only time you're going to see me make and use Broodlords.
Hive cluster is under attack.
You need something?
Our forces are under attack. Spawn more overlords.
I hear you. A sound decision.
Mutation.
Forward! Reasonable request. Our victory is assured.
Mutation. Complete.
Need something?
To the temple! It must not fall!
Finish the Tal'Darim. Several hybrids are on their way.
The Hive! Destroy the Hive!
Our victory is assured. Keep your mind clear. We deactivated a third temple. 2 temples remain.
He's growing weaker. Keep fighting!
No! No!
So you see there how nasty this mission can get when you're trying to deactivate a temple and fight hybrid and a bunch of Tal'Darim, and you're running out of time because Kerrigan's about to get overwhelmed, and they're attacking your base. So this is the product of a lot of practice and watching other people do this and figuring out, you know, where to put what in what order. So the static defense really saved our bacon there. And also,
Mineral field depleted.
the Ultralisks, or excuse me, the Mutalisk, the Flyers, in addition to just clearing out a lot of the forces around that temple, they were able to make it back because they moved so fast and in a straight line and take out that that carrier and defend the base. So another reason to have Mutalisks on this map. And here, if you notice at the bottom, I've queued up 6. It just changed, but I queued up 6 Broodlords. So, again, more reasons for Mutalisks, because you can now make Broodlords, assuming that's, you know, the strain you pick. But you're going to see them in the mix there, just, you know, shooting their little broodlings down at everything and kind of kicking ass.
Our forces are under attack. Is under attack.
Our victory is assured.
Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Our victory is assured.
Okay, I narrowly defended there.
More minerals.
You saw I knew that it was coming from that direction, and I put up that static defense, but those Colossi
Need something?
nearly took down my hatchery, which would have been probably a wipe. So
Forces are under attack.
we are cutting it close here. Look at Kerrigan's bar, right? So this is getting dicey.
Brothers, guard the temple with your lives!
Get rid of these Protoss now. The hybrids are on their way.
Forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Forward! Speak freely. Need something? There is no need for formality. The 4th temple is down. 1 left.
This is not possible.
I can feel your strength leaving you.
Okay, watch here. I get all my Broodlords and Mutalisks into one group, and then I just press up north for the 2nd Xel'Naga crystal.
Do not touch the artifacts of the Master!
forces are under attack.
Speak freely.
Unacceptable command. We are at maximum supply.
The interlopers must not destroy the crystal!
The crystals have been shattered. Their power belongs to the Swarm now.
Okay, so we got all 3 crystals done for the bonus objectives, and honestly, I have a big enough, strong enough force that I could just press in
We require more minerals.
and, you know, and win. What I end up doing is I put up a couple hatcheries. This is a kind of a cheap trick. The hybrid come from the right here, and if they see these hatcheries, they'll take time to take them down, and that gives time to to Stukov to deactivate the temple, and you don't have to deal with them. So it's something that works better if you have a little bit more time. We're running out of time on Kerrigan's bar, so we end up having to press in there before the hatcheries get up. I think maybe one of them gets up, but anyway, just to let you know, like, what are you doing putting hatcheries up here? It's a kind of a cheap defense trick is all it is.
You need something?
Our forces are under attack.
Defend the temple! Lay waste to these abominations!
Many hybrids are coming. This is our final battle.
No, it cannot be.
Your temples are gone.
We've done it. The null zone has left Narud weakened, vulnerable.
Even so, he's the most powerful being I've ever faced.
What will you do?
Kill him. Face me, Narud. It's over.
It is only beginning. Amon whispered of this from the stars. He told you of his return. He told you of ruin, extinction, the end of all things.
Your god is dead, and he's never coming back.
Is that what you think?
No.
Sarah.
You're not here. everything you lost. I am everything you never had. You've already lost.
Amon lives. You will see him soon.
It's a cliffhanger, Devatron. Phantoms of the Void. Wow. Things are really heating up in StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm. Is Kerrigan dead, Devatron? We'll see you in the next episode to find out.